Good evening and welcome back to the news. President Ramgoolam met with high officials of the Seychelles People's Defense Forces this morning at the SPDF headquarters. The aim was to discuss the ongoing work and also as a familiarization to the Defense Forces. The new Commander-in-Chief was accompanied by Vice President Ahmed Afif and Internal Affairs Minister Roy Fonseca. He thanked the SPDF for the role they played in the peaceful transition of power. President Ramgoolam also detailed some immediate actions and priorities for SPDF.
Both involve the Air Force and the Coast Guards. For example, right now the Air Force doesn't have a fuel bowser, which is under their control. So we will do the necessary for them to have this. There's an aircraft which needs certain parts, because we only have one plane which is flying now. So this is to do with patrolling our EEZ, and then on where it concerns the Coast Guards, they also have needs, and cost of transportation of fuel, for example, on the outer islands. This we will tackle. So yes, it will be in the fight against drugs, but also illegal fishing. These are two top priorities, and we are not taking this very lightly.
President Ramgoolam has reiterated the call for every person to abide to the directives of the Public Health Authority. He made the call following a meeting held this morning at the Ministry of Health. The aim of the meeting was for him to be briefed about the COVID-19 situation in the country and the priority needs of the Health Ministry. The President was accompanied by Vice President Afif. Amongst the officials present were the Health Minister, the Principal Secretary for Health, and the Public Health Commissioner. Amongst the issues raised was our level of preparedness in facing this pandemic and the availability of various medical supplies. Speaking to the press, President Ramgoolam highlighted the steps being taken by the Ministry of Health to access COVID-19 vaccines at an affordable price when it becomes available. He indicated that the Ministry of Health would be providing as a matter of priority plans and costing for the proposed isolation center. He also indicated that his government will be undertaking negotiations with the Beauvalon Bay Hotel to relook at the current room rates being paid to the hotel in order to house people in quarantine. Representatives of the Seychelles Interfaith Council, SIFCO, and the Citizens Engagement Platform, CEPS, paid courtesy calls on President Ramgoolam and Vice President Afif State House this afternoon. SIFCO was the first delegation to arrive at State House with 12 members of its management committee. The delegation was led by Bishop Denis Vier of the Roman Catholic faith. During the one-hour meeting, the drug scourge, education, discipline, and morality in schools and in the country, and family life were amongst the issues discussed. The CEPS delegation was made up of its board members, including its chairperson, its CEO and deputy CEO. Their meeting lasted over an hour, and the CEPS house was amongst the issues discussed. CEPS falls under the responsibility of Vice President Afif, while SIFCO falls under the responsibility of President Ramgoolam.
In the past, we used to meet regularly with the Vice President. He was in charge of religious affairs. So this first meeting is to find out, it's a consultation as to the needs of the interfaith in Seychelles, and also to find out what is the government's plans on certain specific issues like education, drugs, morality, and how SIFCO can help and work together with government to help improve in various aspects, but especially the spiritual and the moral aspects of human behavior in Seychelles. And another thing is family, because the stability of the family is very important. If you do not have stable families, you might have abuse of children, you will have children who are on the streets, children who are not looked after. So how do we, what are the factors that contribute to family life or to destroy family life?
I think today has been a most encouraging day. It's been a day of meetings. With those two groups in the afternoon, we looked at society, and in my inauguration speech, I did mention that I was going to call on religion, on the religious leaders, to help in giving our people a new understanding, in helping rehabilitate the moral values, morality in the country. We also looked at how they want to be involved in the lawmaking process, especially when there are social issues. This was also repeated with SEPs. So tomorrow, when I meet with the Speaker and the leaders and the Attorney General, this will be taken up so that all those groups can also have an input as we go through the process of lawmaking. All in all, it's been a wonderful day, and I go home a happy man, knowing that we are moving forward, and that's the only way. That's the only direction this country has to move forward.
A visitor on an island resort has tested positive for coronavirus. Health officials made the diagnosis whilst carrying out PCR tests on the individual that's required prior to departure. The person is asymptomatic. The visitor will now remain in the country and will be monitored by the health authorities. The announcement brings to 3 the number of foreigners who have been tested positive for coronavirus. The Commissioner of Public Health, Dr. Jude Gedeon, says contact tracing is already underway.
We have started contact tracing, and so far the contacts that we have been able to identify have not been close contact. That's the preliminary report, but we are still doing interviews and investigation to find out, to assess the degree of contact, and from there what to do in terms of surveillance for the contacts. But the work is ongoing. Contact tracing can take you between a day, sometimes into several days. We will have to do tests on some people who have been in contact in the next couple of days, based on when the contact happened, so that we can pick up any new case that could have happened if the contact had been close.
The Minister for Transport, Civil Aviation and Ports, Anthony Dejac, has said the government is attaching great importance in the development of ports, as it is important to diversify the economy. He also noted that it is through our ports that the country gets 95% of the supplies it needs. Minister Dejac was speaking after a familiarization visit to Newport this morning. During the meeting, he met the management of the Port Authority, where he was briefed about several projects being undertaken at the different ports and challenges they are facing. Minister Dejac also made a tour by boat of the port facilities.
We will bring determination to see that projects, once conceived or already conceived, do go ahead. We want to maximize the creation of enterprise and commercial activity. We also want to see more facilities, because we are in the end facilitators and landlords. We ensure safety, security and access to the port for industry and commerce. So what we bring is a political will and determination and a knowledge of the private sector.
The new Minister for Finance, Economic Planning and Trade, Nadir Hassan, has effected a first visit to all departments of the ministry. During his visit, the minister was given a brief overview of the roles and functions of the respective departments, as well as opportunity to be advised on certain challenges the various portfolios are facing. The minister stated that digitalizing the government payment process as well as the financial services sector policy are key on his agenda for the coming year. Minister Hassan was accompanied on his visit by the Principal Secretary for Finance, Mr. Damien Teze, and his special advisor, Ms. Sitna Cesar. The new leader of the opposition says it is a privilege and an honor to be assigned this position. Mr. Sébastien Pillet was speaking after taking on another responsibility in the National Assembly, that of chairman of the Finance and Public Accounts Committee.
I see it as an interesting task ahead. I see it as a wonderful challenge. I am eager to work for the people of Seychelles. I am fervently patriotic, and I believe in the resilience of my country, the resilience of my people, and I think that we have some serious and difficult times ahead of us. We need to overcome this period, and this is more important as a consideration rather than anything. So I feel that I have an important role to play in helping us get through this period, and also helping our democracy to continue to evolve.
30 students from the Institute of Health donated their blood to the Seychelles Hospital this morning. Several liters of blood were collected. Their action was to raise public awareness of the importance of donating blood.
Blood we need every time, because there are patients who need blood. They are upstairs. There are a lot of them. We have got surgical patients, we have got neonatal babies, we have got leukemia patients. So there's quite a number of people who need blood. So we need actually every day to use the blood. Sometimes, like for this month, the whole of this month, we've used about 270 something units just on the patients. So for all those units, people has to donate blood. There is really nothing to be scared of. Blood donation is a friendly thing, and it is a good thing because you give life to someone. So they just need to come through, they will be taken care of. There's nothing to worry at all. So we still urge that more people can come, like the way the school have come, to ensure that at least we stock up on our blood units. The stock of blood at the moment, like I checked last time, we have a bit, though not much, but we have a bit at least to cover those that we have. But like I said, for the leukemia patients, because the groups are a bit critical, so there is one patient who's actually waiting for blood group O. We are hoping from this group we'll be able to get the units to save the life of the other patient.
Come to the end of the news. Thank you for watching. Good evening.